Ma'am, are you doing anything to actively oppose child sacrifice? The Bible commands us to love our neighbor as ourselves. 3,500 babies are dying every single day in this country. These little babies need our help. Hi. Can I give you one of these? Thank you. God bless you. Have a good night.
We need your boobs. Got a light here.
Hello.
Ma'am, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Can I offer you a water?
Sure. Can I give you one of these?
No, I don't need. Well, actually, I do. I would ask. I'm with the security team here.
Oh,
I would
okay.
ask that y'all be mindful and polite of the folks that are coming across the street.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and not block the sidewalk.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you, Scott.
Appreciate it. And if you would not talk to the folks and block the lights, because we're going to have a lot of people coming out of here. Okay. Promise.
Thank you. Well, all I'm doing is trying to give them something in their hands.
Okay,
so.
just want y'all to be respectful of
yeah,
everybody
we're trying to make
here.
sure not to block traffic,
Okay,
for sure.
all right,
Thank you.
I appreciate what y'all are doing.
Thank
I
you.
wish you wouldn't do it right here, but
we want to wake up the sleeping church, the silent, apathetic church.
well, we're not sleeping and we're not apathetic here. I don't know.
Are you guys doing anything to actively oppose child sacrifice?
Yeah, well, are you talking about abortion?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're all against abortion.
Are you doing anything to actively oppose it, though?
I'm not. No, that's not my where I serve. But we have a lot of people in this church that do.
Yeah, the Bible tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves. So we believe this is part of loving our neighbors. Jesus said to care for the least of these, the orphan. And who is more orphan than a child who's...
Ma'am, you're lack of better thing, you're preaching to the choir. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Right. I stand out in front of the abortion clinic every Saturday, and you probably are familiar with how many churches we have in the area. There's probably, on one hand, I can count the Christians that come out and rescue those that are being led away to slaughter, and to be a voice for the voiceless, the defender of the weak. So we have very few Christians that are willing to speak up for them on their behalf and intervene and interpose for them. Well, they're being led away to death.
I have to say, I think where you're standing and holding signs, I mean, the majority of the people would agree with you that are here.
Well, I don't want just their agreement, though. I don't want just their moral opinion, but I want to know what they're going to do about it. Because for 40 plus years, this has been tolerated in our country. We've allowed this.
All right.
And if we made a effort, I think, to put an end to this, then we could. Because it's through the bride of Christ that this is going to come to an end.
Well, I agree with you, but again, there's lots of parts of the body.
Right.
And this is what you and the other lady here have been called to do. I'm called to protect, I'm the sheepdog, one of the sheepdogs here. I'm to protect the people here.
This is the thing, Scott. I believe that we've begun to dehumanize the unborn child. Like if there was a 3-year-old, okay, that you knew, just hear me out for a minute. Just hear me out for a minute. If there was a 3-year-old that you knew was going to be murdered at a certain address, you knew that you had the ability to stop and intervene for that child, would you do something, or would you say, no, that's not my calling, I can't help that child, even though you were specifically told that information?
Well,
that a 3-year-old was going to be murdered in cold blood.
Legally, I can't stand there and shoot somebody that's walking in to abort a baby.
Right, but there are things that we can do, right?
I agree with you, but again, I'm not called to serve doing that.
Well, we're all called to love our neighbors as ourselves.
Yes, and I do.
Right. So,
and there are a lot of people in this church that support what you're doing right now. So I'm just asking that y'all be mindful and respectful of the conference that's going on here, okay?
Just something to pray about and think about, because we have neglected the preborn children, and we have dehumanized them. The fact that we continue to allow 2 babies to die every minute of every day shows...
I think it's awful. I agree, it's murder, and you know, if...
We're just asking people to treat these children as a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old. You know, if a 3- and 4-year-old was being murdered down at, You know, if
unfortunately,
a facility
3- and
opened up,
4-year-olds have more legal rights than an unborn baby because they don't think it's a viable human. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Right, but what are you willing to do for these children? That's the question.
Me personally, I have not been called. That is not my calling. It is not my calling, it's yours.
But it's a calling for all Christians.
Some people have callings to go out in the mission field. You're in your mission field.
Well, it's just like an evangelist. You know, there's certain people that are called to
argue with you.
evangelism.
I appreciate what you're doing. I do, believe me. But I work full time, and I volunteer here many hours protecting the flock here.
But would you agree there's always something
that come in this door, and I've got to get back in there. I mean.
But you would agree that there's something you could do, right? To actively oppose this?
I'm protecting the flock here. The people in this flock that are called to do that, go out and do it. We have a lot of folks that work in this ministry, human trafficking ministries. This church sends people out all over the world to do stuff. And if y'all are just protesting the church because you think this church is not doing enough,
we're not protesting. Like I said, we're pleading with other Christians to join us in the fight, to join us in the battle.
Okay.
You know, we're best to recruit.
Y'all be mindful and respectful of everything that's going on here. Okay.
Of course we are, and like I said, it is a horrible, wicked thing that people are enslaved and trafficked. It's a horrible and wicked thing that little babies are being murdered.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you.
So we're just calling them to not just have hold a moral opinion, but to be abolitionists, to love their neighbor in thought, word, and deed. You know, not just have a moral assertion that it's wrong, but to actively do something about it, to actively oppose it.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening.
All right.
God bless.
This guy we need.
Good. How are you? Good.
Okay, so I heard you were out here, so I had to see what it was about.
Yes, sir. Would you like one of our flyers?
Okay. Okay. No, I won't carry it around with me, but is it just going to be the two of you then? Some
three.
Down there?
One
okay.
more.
Any expecting more? Or?
No.
Okay.
Just the three of us.
Okay. All right. Oh, somebody stopped and come down the street.
I think it's a security guard. Here, I do have something for you. It's very, very important that you read it. Very important.
Very persistent, lady. Okay.
This is a doctrine of the lesser magistrates, and I'd encourage you to pray about it, think about it. I don't know if you're a believer, if you go to this church and just happen to be off, doing some off-duty work, but it's just important for Christian believers, especially those in authority, to love their neighbor and to defy iniquitous decrees. So when the government passes laws that are contrary to the law of God, that's where you guys come in to say, you know what, we can't uphold these unconstitutional, unlawful, in the eyes of God, laws.
Right.
So that's just kind of what it's about.
Okay.
But thank you, Officer Padgett.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I want to make sure you guys are safe.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.